In this video I would like to share my experiences on how to oil, how to lubricate the Swiss Army knife, or let's say how to lubricate the folding knife in general. First of all, I want to go through the different oil products I tested in the last 15 years. And at the end of the video I will show you a fantastic trick. This trick was a game changer in my case. And this trick is not about which oil is the best. This trick is about how you can apply the oil in the perfect amount on the perfect spot. So stay tuned if this sounds interesting for you. Hello YouTube! Welcome to another Swiss Army knife workshop video. In this series I show you maintenance and customization tricks for your Swiss Army knife. The playlist link for the other videos on this series you'll find here and in the description box below. 1 month ago I uploaded a video on how to clean a dirty Swiss Army knife. How to oil a Swiss Army knife would be the next logical step and topic of this video. The content of this video is not scientific. I just tell you my experiences with different types of oil. Here in front of me you can see all the products I tried out in the last 15 years. Or let's say at least the ones I can remember. Back in time, 30 or 40 years ago at the Boy Scouts, we already used folding knives for cooking and working. Unfortunately, I can't remember exactly how we oiled our knives back then, but I'm sure we didn't use food-safe oils, so maybe we used WD-40 or sewing machine oil or something like that. In my opinion, it's not that grave if you eat half a drop of an oil with an apple or something like this. But today we have food-safe oils, and that's why I would recommend to use these ones. First, I want to talk about the technical aspects of these different oils. That means the lubrication effect, solvent properties, penetration properties, the color, smell, if it works together with wood, if it can protect wood, or if the oil dries out, if it gets sticky, if it gets resinous and stuff like this. This Brunox Turbo Spray oil was the first oil I bought specially for my folding knives. This was about 20 years ago. So this has a production date from April 2002. And I can't tell you negative things about this oil except it's not food safe. This oil has a good lubrication effect. The oil has a low viscosity and good penetration properties. It has solvent properties. That means to a certain degree it's able to loosen stock parts. It's neutral in color and smell, and it looks still good after 20 years. But as I said, it's not food safe. Many years later, I got in contact with Brunox and they sent me food safe oil called Lubrifood. And this is still one of my most used oil for folding knives. Since I use this Lubrifood oil for my knives, I couldn't see, feel or smell any disadvantages over the normal Brunox oil. So that's why this is one of my favorite oils for knives. Regarding the lubrication effect of these oils, please keep in mind that I work to 95% with Swiss Army knives with a slip joint mechanism and with riveted axes. So here the lubrication effect of the oil is not that important as on a super high-end folder with Teflon washers or ball bearings, because you have always a little bit resistance from the spring. So that can have an influence on the selection of my oils. Now let's jump to my next favorite oil, and this is the Victorinox multi-tool oil. So this is the 100% sorrow-free option. This Victorinox multi-tool oil I bought, I guess, 15 years ago. This is a new bottle of the Victorinox multi-tool oil. And in all these years, this oil fulfilled all my criteria. and I never had problems with this oil. So as I said, this is the 100% sorrow-free version option, at least for Swiss Army knives. The only disadvantage I know from the Victorinox multi-tool oil is the price. So these 10 milliliters cost $5. So this makes $500 a liter. This is enormous. But to be honest, if you use this oil with the trick I show you at the end of this video, you will be able to maintain an enormous amount of knives with these 10 milliliters. That's why this Victorinox multi-tool oil is also on my favorite list. Now let's talk about the universal Ballistol. This is the cheapest oil in our test. Ballistol was originally developed for care firearms. It protects metal parts from corrosion. It has very good lubrication, cleaning and penetration properties. It protects and care leather and wood, and 1,000 things more. In short, Ballistol is incredibly versatile. And on top, this oil is very environment friendly and can be 100% degraded. The only thing which irritates me a little bit with this oil is if you put Ballistol on a surface who can suck up the oil, the viscosity change after 2 days and get higher. So after 3 or 4 days you have something like a Vaseline-like paste. But the producer says that this paste holds the lubrication effect. Another thing is, too much Ballistol can attack brass parts. So on a Swiss Army knife, the axes and the rivet heads are made out of brass. So, but that this happened, you have to put these brass parts into a bath of Ballistol and let them several days in the Ballistol. But if you maintain your Swiss Army knife with Ballistol, nothing will happen, that's for sure. Ballistol universal oil is also food safe, but it's not certified food safe because the producer don't want to uncover the secret recipe of this oil. But if you want to use Ballistol and you need a food safe version of this oil, you can buy this H1 oil. This is certified food safe. But I just bought it, I never tried it out, so that's why I can say nothing about this oil. The last thing I have to say about Ballistol is Ballistol universal oil has a strong taste. But 15 minutes after the application, the smell disappears. So I would say 50% like the smell, 50% hate the smell. It's up to you. All in all, I would say Ballistol universal oil is a good option and a cheap option to maintain and lubricate your folders. The next oil I want to talk about is this Chinese camellia oil, in this case from Böko. And what should I say? So at the moment, this is the oil I use the most, but the reason for that I tell you later. Camellia oil is food safe, it's 100% plant-based, it's almost smellless, doesn't dry out, cannot get stick, cannot get resinous. In my opinion, this oil has also a good lubricate property for metal parts. But this oil is famous because Chinese knife makers use this oil since hundreds of years for protecting metal parts from corrosion and to care wood handles. Now to my conclusion to the Japanese camellia oil. This oil is quite expensive, but I would say this Japanese traditional thing hooks me. And to be honest, I'm still collecting experience with this oil, but until now I'm quite happy. And as I said, this is the oil I use the most at the moment. Now I want to present you the last oil option. This is the Böker oil pan. So this pan costs 12 bucks, have 12 milliliters oil inside, but in this case the oil doesn't interest me. There is of course a good oil inside, no question, but I like the idea how you can apply the oil, how you can dose the oil, how you can put a drop of oil exactly at the place where you want. This or this is the terrible opposite. Here you make and you have an oil cloud and you cover half of your knife with an oil cloud and you have a big mess and you have to clean it and you waste oil. This Böker oil pan gives me the perfect transition to the trick I want to show you. So remember, this pan costs 12 bucks. And I saw someone on the internet, I can't remember where, who oiled the knife with a medical syringe and such a needle on it. So I bought this for a few cents in the pharmacy. Here I have a syringe like this. Then I have this needle. In this case I have 0.9 millimeter. I hope you can see that. Yeah. So then just put it together like this. Take away the lid. Now take the oil you want. So I make it on the table, that works better. Now put the syringe in and suck the oil up. Now you can see the air in the upper part of the syringe. So you have to hold the syringe with the tip upwards. Now you can press out the air. So now you are ready to oil your knife. Perfect. Nice. So my friend, this with such medical syringes is exactly the way how I oil my knives. This has a lot of advantages. Such an oil pan, super expensive. This costs some cents. Here you can fill in exactly the oil you want, your favorite oil. Here you can't fill in your favorite oil. With such a medical syringe, you can dose the amount of oil super exact, super precise. You can make a big drop, you can make a small drop, you can put the drop exactly where you want, even in the deepest slot or on the deepest point of the knife body. No problem. You can place the drop exactly where you want. This, oil the knife like this, is a big mess. And you waste oil and you have to clean the handles after and the whole knife is... Here you can save oil and you put the oil exactly at the place where you need it. If this is your favorite oil, take a little container, put a little bit oil in, suck it up with a syringe, and it's done. So my friends, I hope this was an interesting video for you. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and see you in 1 or 2 weeks. Ciao!